Prakhar. Now, in a startling development, viewers, several top Pakistan-based terrorists, including Hizbul Mujahideen chief and Al-Badr Supremo, attended the funeral prayers of Pulwama attack mastermind Hamza Burhan in Islamabad. And we had given you that update yesterday, viewers. Now, Hamza Burhan, let me tell you, was shot dead in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir recently. His funeral saw heavy security as high-profile wanted terrorists gathered to pay their last respects. We have accessed an unverified video of the funeral prayers showing the presence of these terror commanders. Now, the gathering has raised serious security concerns amid a string of targeted killings of terrorists inside Pakistan. Ajay Chandyal is joining me, and let me just tell you, viewers, this is of course an unverified video, but this is on your screen. Ajay Chandyal is joining me with details. Ajay, what can you tell us?
Yes, it was already expected that a terrorist who was killed by unknown gunmen in Pakistan occupied Kashmir, he will get funeral with the gun salute, and that is what exactly happening, because Pakistan is a terror state, and that happens in Pakistan almost whenever it happens. So this time, according to information, Al-Badr chief as well as Syed Salahuddin chief, he attended the funeral of this killed terrorist, and definitely it exposes Pakistan once again that how these terrorists and terror commanders, those who are sitting in Pakistan, those who are giving, those who are surviving in behest of Pakistani forces, they are open, they are free to move anywhere, and they are giving gun salute to a terrorist, wanted terrorist, who is responsible for a number of terror incidents here in the Jammu and Kashmir and other part of India.
All right, Ajay, stay on with me. I have now Major General A.K. Sivaj, he's a defense expert, joining me. Major General Sivaj, I have a very important question with you when it comes to the security of our country, but I'll take that as the second question. Let's first talk about this development. Now, several top Pakistan-based terrorists have attended the funeral prayers of Pulwama attack mastermind Hamza Burhan, in Islamabad. What do you have to say for that?
Concern, it is a hub center of terrorism. Out of the top 100 terrorists, 87 belong to Pakistan or they have roots in Pakistan. As far as this Hamza Burhan is concerned, he was the Al-Badr commander. He was basically from Pulwama, and in 2017 he has crossed over to POK through the visa to do a further study as far as MBBS is concerned, and that's why he was known as a doctor. But the fact is that he was a terrorist and he's been killed in Pakistan and by unknown gunmen. Whether it has been an inter-gang rivalry or tough war or the ISI shedding itself, because they are in danger of being, put on a great list by the Financial Action Task Force. But the thing is that on his funeral, you find Syed Salahuddin, who is Hizbul Mujahideen commander, and many other terrorists joining it. You see, it is very clear as far as Pakistan is concerned, that Pakistan needs to be declared as a terrorist state. It has to be put by a Financial Action Task Force in a grey list. The thing is that the world should know it, that even the terrorists who died, they are celebrated. That's what is happening in Pakistan. I think it's a high time we should project this case that Pakistan needs to be isolated. It only believes in cross-border terrorism, and it keeps on differentiating between good and bad terrorists. A terrorist which basically sent toward India, Lashkar-e-Toba, Jaish Mohammed, Al-Badr and Hizbul Mujahideen, they call them a good terrorist, and TTP, which is a terrorist, which hits them, is bad terrorist. But certainly, what has happened in Pakistan, these militant groups and the commanders attending the funeral of Hamza Burhan shows that Pakistan is still a terrorist state.
Major General Sivaj, the other question that I had with you was of a big development, of course, that we were discussing on NewsX in the morning with our viewers, which is that a lot of activity is happening. We are getting inputs that, Pakistan is going to be attacking major terrorist bases in Kashmir. What do you have to say about that development?
As far as Pakistan is concerned, they are trying to ensure that the terrorism again gets activated in Jammu and Kashmir. but our counter-infiltration grid is very robust. There is hardly any infiltration taking place. Our counter-terrorism grid in the valley floor as well as hinterland is very, very strong. There are only 30-40 militants which are left, and they are mainly from POK. And they've been targeted, and time is not far off, that within a year or 2 years, you find the valley completely devoid of any terrorism. And as on today, the reason is simple. The type of development which is taking place in Kashmir Valley is credible. There is a grassroots level democracy, district council election, panchayat election, then Lok Sabha, then Parliament election. The point today is very clear that as on today, that Jammu and Kashmir is very peaceful. The Pakistan can't do anything. In fact, they must now take care of POK. You see Muzaffarabad, Birpur, Dhangar, Kotli, Dasnial, Bagh, and Pakistan phones. You find them that today they are Chakka Jam shut down. They openly say that they've been treated as a second-class citizen and they want to join India. Their main river, which is called Neelam River, that they have diverted towards Punjab. So what are they saying that they can activate anything in India? This is beyond them. But one thing is clear, that they will not stop this cross-border terrorism. They will keep on trying it, and we need to expose them in international forum and should put pressure on United Nations to declare Pakistan as a terrorist state.
All right. I request Major General Sivaj to stay on with me. Now, Major General K.K. Sinha is also joining me. Major General K.K. Sinha, of course, I was discussing with Major General Sivaj a couple of concerns. And now I want to come to you with a different point, which is also important here. You know, the government is launching the Smart Border project to make entire borders with Bangladesh and Pakistan impenetrable. What would you like to say on that?
Yeah, what you are saying, the smart border, it has not only fencing, but it has got, silent fencing, it has got automatic tracking systems, it has got automatic, unmanned, weapon system, which will be, get activated if they find something hostile. It is linked with the satellite. The satellite, all the time looking for the military satellite which has been sent for the surveillance. They will be completely, focusing on that area, and there will be no time gap. So I think these are the things, which will save not only the manpower, which will also save, the lot of effort which we spend, and there are gaps which these people slip. So it will be a foolproof thing. Over and above, it will be also a layer where it will be a totally manned by the human being. So it is humanly controlled. It is not like the way the Chinese do, the other American country, the Western part do it, they rely on to the smart sensing system. But this system is going with the interface with the human being. I think it is a great thing. And this is the challenge. If this becomes very effective, you will have a zero tolerance on the crossing of the illegal people through our porous border.
Right. I'd request my guests to stay on with me. I also have Major General Sudhakarji. Now, Major General Sudhakarji, there are a couple of developments that I have to discuss with you. One is that there's been an input from Pakistan that our defense bases will be attacked. That's one, Major General Sudhakarji. The second development is that several top Pakistan-based terrorists, including Hizbul Mujahideen chief and Al-Badr Supremo, attended the funeral prayers of Pulwama attack mastermind Hamza Burhan in Islamabad. This, of course, is another important development. And Major General Sudhakarji, because you're here and I appreciate your in-depth insights when it comes to the military, I want to, of course, talk to you about the Smart Border project as well, because this will make our borders impenetrable. What would you like to say on these developments?
Yeah, Vishali, firstly, good afternoon. Thank you for having taken me for your phone up during your show. There are a couple of points which you have made. First thing is the smart border. Second thing, you have also raised the issue that Pakistani terrorists, they have threatened to attack our defense bases. And the third one, I suppose you made a point that the funeral of Hamza's funeral is being attended by lots of government and non-government, non-state actor, etc., etc. So first point is the smart border. It's a welcome development. It's happening for good. And besides being cost effective, this will also help us to prevent infiltration taking place. But technology is being overtaken by the technology spiral. That we have to keep in mind. And when I said technology spiral, the geography and technology, geotechnology are playing havoc. When we are going over the ground, trying to make a smart fencing, there are tunnels which are coming up under the ground. So there are almost about 28 to 40 tunnels in Jammu area which have recently been unearthed. And therefore, we have to keep our cerebral acumen extended horizon and remain open to new dimensions which are emerging by the day. And also, there is a thing called as electromagnetic, blind spots. So electromagnetic blind spots, like the way Hamas had actually gone in on 7th October 2023, they had blacked out the electromagnetic spectrum from 6:30 in the morning till 6:55 for 20-25 minutes. And during that time, they had carried out multi-domain operations against the most formidable armed forces in the world, that is IDF. So one has to, remain alive to the new dimensions, modern multi-domain operations. One thing will lead to the other. So that race is going to be on. So one has to remain up and about. Last but not the least, the cost factor. The cost definitely is going to increase. And therefore, we have to go in for enhanced defense budget allocation, which after a long hiatus or gap from 2011-12, to 2024-25, I'm very delighted to acknowledge that the government of India has finally started raising the defense budget in the central government annual expenditure. Central government annual expenditure from 16.24% had gone down to 11.09%, and from 11.09% has taken a jump in the previous fiscal to, I think, 12 point some percentage. That's a very healthy and welcome development. That has to be factored in. The technology is going to come with a price, and that price is going to be money. That price is going to be in terms of obsolescence. That price is going to be the spiral of overtaking the technology. So this is one part. Second part, you raised the issue regarding attacking the defense bases. Yes, we have been hearing ever since the Operation Sindoor has taken place and the good battering and hammering that we have given to Pakistan. Pakistan is a poor fighter in terms of the result. Every time they have unleashed a war against India, they have been bitten hollow nice and properly. But that bitting hollow is a kind of a success to them because they have managed to stand up. So perception of success also differs with Pakistan. So with Operation Sindoor, since they have got a good beating from India, they have not taken it too kindly. And remember, 93,000 PW in 71, liberation of Bangladesh, that has caused permanent indignation as far as Pakistan is concerned. So they will continue to bleed India with 1,000 cuts or more cuts. Proxy war is going to go on. They will attack the defense establishment. We should remain mindful of the method which had been adopted by the Ukrainians against the Russian strategic bombers. They had penetrated 4,500 kilometers into Russian territory with the help of the drones. They had carried out very accurate, guided kind of loitering ammunition had been bombarded. They had been used against the strategic bombers. Similar kind of thing could take place not only along the border, it could be in the hinterland. So one has to cater for those kind of things, going for anti-air defense architecture and make sure that we are armed to the teeth to prevent any kind of such kind of surprising and the attacks which are fraught with deception. Last but not the least, attendance of the funeral. That goes to say Pakistan as a country, they don't have non-state actors, they have state actors. They have authorized, formal, official actors who are jihadis. This has to be called out by every channel, and particularly NewsX, because unless you call it out, the recognition of Pakistan is going to get a good scot-free kind of a reward. It will be taken as a recognition in the positive sense. So we need to call it out for the larger good of the world order. The same people, Pakistanis who are jihadis, including the armed forces, need to be targeted, because if you don't target the root cause of jihadis, that is the chief of the army staff and the ISI, they will keep on bleeding you with 1,000 cuts in times ahead. Back to you.
All right, Major General K.K. Sinha is back with me, of course. Major General K.K. Sinha, I haven't taken the Smart Border project with you. What do you feel about it, Major General K.K. Sinha, and what will be the technologically advanced defense things that we're going to be seeing when it comes to this major project?
As I said earlier, this Smart Border project, this Smart Border project has, something indigenous in it. In which there is from aerospace, satellite, there's the integration of drone system, then the, integration of continuous surveillance, 24/7, 365 days. There it has got integrated weapon system, which is manned and unmanned. Unmanned is the, robotically controlled, where you can, where there's very tough areas where once in a while a target pops up, that too have taken. It has, as on today, I've seen a demonstration of this, and it is a system which claims that, zero tolerance of any infiltration. Even, and they can identify with, hawks, alert, like animal crossing over, innocent people crossing over. By mistake, sometimes people do cross over. So it will have that system. It claims to have absolutely, giving you a capability, not even a single unwanted or a militant or insurgents crossover, both in our western front, on our eastern front, basically with Bangladesh, and it will also extend it towards the Myanmar, border with the Myanmar, and it will also then other northern borders. In northern border also there is a crossing takes place. So it will be, giving in India, and it will be also, one point is there to get integrated with our peninsular India, where there is a maritime domain. In that also, in our EEZ and our exclusive, and our, our own water on which. So it is integrated, including our islands. So, and this is being part of overall, which we have a Sudarshan Chakra, which we talk about it. So it is one of the part of that. And I think, it is a very good thing. This is as on today, it is on paper, getting implemented in a small bit. And the important thing is that it will be getting integrated with both surveillance and our killer drones, so that you can take on online. It will give the relief, it will, add up, and I said that the human interface is there. It is not, many countries just do it without human interface. So in human interface, which is the second layer, giving you 100% probability that nothing can get into it. That part, I think it will take time. I think there is a time period which has been laid down. As you know, Sudarshan Chakra is by 2035. But before that, this is getting the priority, and it is being implemented on ground, forthwith.
All right. And with that, I'd like to thank both my esteemed panelists for joining me on the